Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hello and welcome to this episode of our show. This is your host, Keith Doherty. Today our special guest is top real estate broker associate Leon Lopes of RE/MAX Spectrum, based out of Plymouth, Massachusetts. Leon has been a licensed real estate broker salesperson since 1994, specializing in helping sellers and buyers in the sale, marketing, or purchase of a home in the Plymouth, Massachusetts area. His concentration is on residential property, including single-family, condominium, waterfront, new construction, as well as the Pine Hills and Red Brook communities. He holds the Certified Luxury Home Marketing Specialist and E-Pro designations and has been awarded the RE/MAX 100% Club, Platinum Club, and Hall of Fame awards. He is a member of the Boston Power Players Network and a regular contributor to Real Estate Talk Boston with Radio BDC and Boston.com. So with all that, Leon, welcome to the show.
Thanks very much, Keith. You have a great show, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it today.
Excellent, Leon. I guess if we could start for our listeners, could you start with what led you into real estate? Was it something that you always knew you wanted to do, or did you maybe stumble into it?
Yeah, I guess I can't say that it was something I always knew that I wanted to do, but I did always pay attention to real estate. I always, knew when a property was listed and a sign was put out in front of the home. So at the time in the mid-'90s, I was working with a regional discount department store chain in the Northeast at the corporate headquarters, and I just felt like I was ready for a change, a career change, and so I decided to get my real estate license. Started out part-time to try to get my feet wet, and then, turned into a full-time agent and haven't looked back since.
Excellent. And can you talk a little bit about maybe some of the personal attributes or traits or qualities that you think have most contributed to the success that you've had, and then maybe talk a little bit about how you developed these?
Sure. I think for me, and it was probably partly due to my prior background. I was in middle management. I had people that worked under me. I had to attend a lot of meetings with top executives and so forth. So I feel that I brought to real estate organizational skills, the ability to multitask, the ability to manage situations, resolve issues and problems, the ability to listen. That's huge, listening to your clients. So over the years, I've, tried to keep those core skills in mind and continue to develop them as time went on.
Excellent. And can you maybe give us an example or some examples of when your traits have played a role in your path towards success?
Yes, I always remember a conversation that I had a number of years ago with a director at a relocation department, and one day she said to me, "Do you know what you are?" And I said, "No." And she said, "You're a chameleon, and that's a compliment." She said, you can adjust your own style and your own personality to be able to work with all different types of buyers and sellers." And certainly from someone who was helping executives relocate, that was important for her to know that I had that ability and that skill and that trait. So I think that that's something that has stuck with me over the years, and I just try to be able to, change and reshape myself depending on the client that I'm working with.
I think it's a great point for our listeners that you don't just it's not just set in your ways like this is how Leon's going to do it. You either work with me or you don't. But it's nice that you adapt the situation per the client's needs, which is probably why you've had the kind of success you have, because you can tailor that to everybody's different. Some people even from a communication standpoint, some people like email, some people want to text, some people want to use Facebook, and to be able to, like you said, adjust to what the client likes and makes them feel comfortable, I think is a great thing to point out to people.
Definitely.
So obviously along the way, I'm sure that with everybody that has success, they're usually, it usually isn't just a simple, smooth road. So could you talk a little bit about some of the major adversities and maybe or trials that you had to overcome in order to achieve the goals that you have so far?
Sure. I think I probably think most of, early on in my real estate career when things were certainly different 20 years ago than they are today with the internet. So I think the hardest challenge, or probably one of the major adversities, was to be accepted within the real estate community. I think, a new agent has a challenge in reaching that point and being taken seriously by other agents who maybe have some more experience. So that was, one of the larger hurdles to try to get over early on in my career.
Excellent. And kind of, can you talk a little bit about what kept you going despite obstacles? Why didn't you give up? What's your driving force?
I think my driving force was that I really just wanted to make this career change work. I wanted to be able to be my own boss. I wanted to have a flexible schedule. My kids were young at the time, so I wanted to be able to go to a soccer game if I could, and just that was really my drive and desire, was that I enjoyed this change, and I enjoyed running my own schedule and being my own boss. And I just wanted to do everything I could to be successful at that.
Excellent. And I guess maybe looking forward a little bit, what do you see your vision for your career, say, over the next 5 years?
I think, going forward, there's something new every day in real estate, whether it's technology, whether it's, just the way that the clients interact with us, and different parts of the process with the mortgage changes that came out in October of last year, and so on. So I think I just want to continue to grow and develop so that I can keep up with any changes that come up, especially with technology, possibly add an assistant in the near term to try to help with some of the back-end parts of the process, so I can focus more on listing and selling and helping buyers and sellers. So those are the primary things, I think, over the next few years.
Great. And I guess kind of on top of that a little bit, what do you feel the best way you market yourself as a real estate professional so you can have continual growth?
I felt that it's important to be active in my local community. So over the years, I'm a member of the Rotary Club in Plymouth, past president. I was on the board of directors for a local cable TV company. I was an elected town meeting representative in Plymouth for 6 years. So I think being involved in the community is certainly a primary focus, as well as networking. A member of the Chamber of Commerce and going to different networking events is important. Certainly being visible online today, Facebook, Twitter, and other social media. It's refreshing when I'll meet somebody and they say to me that they've either seen my name somewhere or heard my name somewhere, and that's what we strive for.
Yeah, I think you make the point there too. It's almost like the front of mind kind of thing, where just in technology, everything's everywhere. Like you said, social media, and it just like every day there's like, you think you finally get your hands around. You got Facebook and Twitter, and then you got YouTube, and then all of a sudden you get all these other, the Snapchat and all this other stuff starts popping up, it just so rapidly. And as soon as it comes, it seems like there's something new right behind it.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah. So I think sometimes when people look at real estate agents, real estate professionals, a lot of times they'll have a misconception of maybe what they can do for them and the things they actually bring to the table. So what do you think the biggest misconception or myth people have about working with a real estate agent?
I'd probably have to say that a lot of people, especially if they have not bought and sold a lot of real estate themselves, a lot of folks think that we're all alike and that we all provide the same service. And so between myself and my teammate Sean, we try to remind our clients that, we're different. We have our specialties. We know our community. Our company is different. And I think that's really important to try to point out that, not every realtor is the same or provides the same service.
Yeah, I think, on top of that, you look at the barrier to entry, right? It seems like, you just take a little bit of, some training and you go and pass the test, and next thing you know, you're a realtor. And like you said, some people are part-time, some people are full-time, some people know what they're doing, others don't have a clue. So I think you're right, there's another misconception that people just assume that, well, it's a realtor is a realtor. But like you said, there's obviously a lot more involved in that.
Yes.
So let's say you get a call from a family member. They're in another state. They want to sell their home. What advice would you give them about selecting an agent that can best serve their needs? Kind of how you take care of your people. You said you're like that chameleon and you adjust and adapt to people. What would you tell them of how they could go about selecting an agent that could serve their needs?
Well, one thing I can tell them, being a part of the RE/MAX network, is that I can actually pair them up with a fellow RE/MAX agent in the area that they're in. So whether they're across the country or around the world, I can find them an agent. And that's one thing that I enjoy doing when I get that opportunity. But beyond that, I still think that the individual buyer or seller, wherever they are, they need to be comfortable with the agent that they're going to choose. So they need to make sure that they feel the agent's going to listen to their needs. I think it's important to work with a full-time realtor. I think it's important to work with an agent who knows their community, and also one that has a proven track record. And those are all things that collectively I think will really help that client achieve their goal.
Excellent. And if somebody wants to, if they need an agent in your area, so you cover the Plymouth, Massachusetts area, as we stated earlier. So someone's looking for real estate help in your area. What's the best way they can find out about you and how you can help them?
I'll give you a few different options. One is my website, leonlopes.com. Certainly, your listeners can Google me. They'll find a number of different things that I'm out there on when you Google me. Also, you can search on Facebook for the Lopes Team Real Estate. My email address is leon@leonlopes.com. And lastly, my cell phone number is 508-345-8127.
Excellent. Well, Leon, we want to take the time to obviously thank you for coming here today and sharing all your professional real estate experience with our listeners. And if you guys are listening and you want to learn more about Leon, you can visit his site, like you said, leonlopes.com. Also, below this interview, we're going to go ahead and we'll have a link to his website. We'll have his phone number that he gave out, as well as an email address and any other contact information that we have, so you can easily click on that or give him a call or send him an email. That way you can make contact if you're looking for some assistance in the area that he serves, the Plymouth, Massachusetts area. So with that said, everybody, until our next show, have a great day, and we'll talk to you all soon.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.